Charlie, we've beaten Aston Villa 2-0. What are your thoughts from what you've seen?
Mate, it was a good performance today in terms of how we dug in. We've got to be perfectly honest. At times we got getting battered in that game, really under the cosh. Kepa was phenomenal today, made some outstanding saves, particularly that triple save in the first half. He really kept us in the game, and we basically just made the most of the opportunities that we did create. Obviously, Mason Mount seizing on a mistake from, I think, Tyrone Mings early in the first sort of 5-6 minutes, and he puts it away. Other than that, we didn't create an awful lot, if we're being perfectly honest. Sterling had a shot that hit the crossbar, a couple of half chances in the second half, but we weren't at our best today at all. And Graham Potter's subs changed the game, and we were in debt to Mason Mount and Kepa today. So, you know, it's one of those performances where we just rode our luck, and when it mattered, we had the quality to take the points home.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's one of those scrappy performances. You've come out, you say, do you know what, we've got 3 points, who cares? But at the end of the day, you want the team to flow, perform, and I can't really say that we did.
No, we didn't, but we've got to understand that we can't play like sort of champagne football every week. There's going to be games where you have to dig in. You don't play well, but you still get the points. And that's a sign of kind of building a good side, showing good character, where in the past, you know, we would play shit and we'd lose. We play shit today and we win. So, you know, we're unbeaten under Potter still. Mason Mount is back to his best. Kepa seems to be reborn. And yeah, we march on. It's now 5 wins in a row in all competitions, and Potter's, you know, still unbeaten. So something's going right.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, you got to give it to the manager, this win. This is a manager's win. Players obviously produce on the pitch, but he's the one who picks them and he's the one who changes them with all those subs. Every decision he made, it came off. I can't think of one decision that negatively impacted the team, whether it was the defence with Koulibaly, the midfield with Georgie, Gallagher, you name them all. They all worked.
It all worked, and I think we were watching the game together. We could see Cucurella was having a torrid time in the first half. You know, he was giving the ball away. Villa were getting in behind him. He didn't have a good time at all. I know he's better at left wing back, but he was playing at left centre back today. He wasn't good today. You know, you have bad days as a player. This was a bad day for him. But credit to the manager. You know, he saw that, he changed it up, brought Koulibaly on at half time along with Azpilicueta, and we looked a lot more solid defensively. We didn't give up anywhere near as many chances as we were giving up in the first half, and those changes made a big difference. And I'm a little bit surprised Koulibaly didn't start today, if I'm being perfectly honest. I would have expected him to start. I thought he had his best game for Chelsea in the San Siro, so it would have made sense for him to continue to start. So I don't really understand that. Cucurella, it was a difficult day at the office room. I thought Chilwell struggled as well. That whole left-hand side in the first half particularly had a real difficult time.
Yeah, I mean, I was debating one fan in the stands, you were sat next to me, you might have heard, but he said Cucurella's had a bad season all round, and I just disagree with that.
That's nonsense. Cucurella has been very good this season. Today, he was poor, and we say it for what it is today. He wasn't good, but in general, he's had a good impact since he's been here at Chelsea. So no criticism of him in general in his Chelsea career so far, but today was an off day for him, really bad, and deserved to be subbed at half time.
What about Chalobah as well? What did you think about his performance? We still don't seem to lose when he plays. I don't know what it is, but for some reason he's got this sort of magical element wherever he plays, even if we don't play well, we end up getting 3 points.
Mate, he's obviously a good luck charm, you know. I don't know how many games it is now, but every game that he started for Chelsea, we haven't lost. So, and I thought he was good again today, you know. He stepped up. We didn't really see much of him, if we're being perfectly honest, but I guess that's kind of a sign of a good performance, particularly at the back, you know, where you don't want to have, he didn't have an awful lot to do in terms of, you know, any goal line clearances or anything like that, but he was solid, he was strong defensively, he's quite a physical player. Really good. I thought he was good today, and I was really pleased to see him getting a run in the side now, albeit at Fofana's expense. But he's showing how good a player he is, and he's going to be a really important member of the squad for us this season. So I'm delighted for him.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to say as well is with Mount and Gallagher, I am absolutely fascinated with how we can fit both of those players into our squad. Because you must be on my side. You want them both to play. They've just got energy. They can shoot. They can pass. They can intercept the ball. Mount obviously getting 2 goals. He won us the game, but Gallagher made a great impact as well. I mean, how are we going to fit those players into the team? And if not, are they going to be competing against each other?
Well, first of all, Mount today was outstanding. You know, he's had a difficult start to the season, but these last 4 games, obviously starting with the Milan at Stamford Bridge, then Wolves, then the San Siro, and then obviously today, outstanding. Honestly, like, he's back to his very best. And this is the Mason Mount that we know and that we love. And that's why, myself and others have been quite critical of him, because we know what he can do. And now he's showing that week in, week out, that he's a top-class player and he's making a massive difference for this Chelsea side. That free kick is unbelievable, by the way. The technique on it, smashes it top bins, and you can't ask for any more. He was outstanding today. And do you know what, Gallagher, I've said it before, Graham Potter coming in as a new manager is the best thing that could have happened to Conor Gallagher. Someone that trusts young players, someone that likes young players, someone that's playing Gallagher further up the pitch, and he's having a big impact. He comes on today. He makes a difference. He's got so much energy. He's great off the ball. On the ball today, he was very good as well. I'd love to see both of them play as a number 8 with, say, Jorginho or Ruben behind or something. But to be honest, Gallagher kind of played right side today when he came on. There's options there, but yeah, they've got to both be in the same team if it's possible.
So hard. It's almost reminded me of like Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard. How do you fit all these players in and still get the best out of them? But hopefully we do. I think if there's a man who can do it, it's Potter, because he's happy to tweak the system and keep people guessing. What did you think about the front line today? Because we've got people questioning Havertz, Sterling as well today, but then also they are players. Well, Sterling especially is a player that can produce. Aubameyang as well. Where do you stand on our front line?
Front line today, absolutely awful. Absolutely terrible today. They just offered nothing. I know Aubameyang, he's not there for his all-round play and things like that. You've got to feed him the chances for him to score the goals. I accept that. He was anonymous today. I barely realised he was playing until about 5 minutes before half-time.
But is that his fault if the players aren't giving him the balls?
Not necessarily, but if you're not getting any service as a striker, you need to try and come to the ball, or just try and get yourself involved. For me, like in a slightly different way. Don't just wait for something to happen. It's clear that nothing's happening. Maybe try and make something happen yourself. I'm not too critical of him because he's there to score goals and he didn't have the service today. But Sterling, I thought, had a poor game. He had a chance where he hit the bar, but again, just a little bit anonymous. Didn't really offer very much at all. I know in that first half it looked like he was very much playing in that right wing back role, which is not natural to him, a little bit different, but he struggled to have an impact on the game overall. And I think that's 2 games in a row now where he's struggled to impact, and he's not been as good as he has been when in his first few games of his Chelsea career, as he has in the last few, and he needs to rediscover his form. Havertz today, he divides opinion. He was anonymous. What does he offer to this Chelsea side? Like, what does he bring? When Kai Havertz is on the pitch, what does he offer? He doesn't bring anything. For me, and you get certain players that play and you know exactly what they bring and what they're going to give you. You don't know what Havertz is going to bring, and you don't know what he's going to give you. And the fact that, 3 seasons in now, and people are still discussing, he should be played here, should be played there, and like lists of reasons why he's not playing well. The fact of the matter is, maybe this guy just isn't good enough. And at the moment, I don't see why he deserves to be in the team ahead of someone like Christian Pulisic. Pulisic, I'm not a massive fan of his, but he played against Wolves, he was good. He deserves an opportunity. Like, he does deserve an opportunity to show what he can do. And, Havertz today, nothing, absolutely nothing. And you're starting to think, what do we pay 70-odd million pounds for? And he can't keep dining out on a Champions League final goal. That's done now. We're grateful for that. You were signed to have an impact week in, week out. And you just don't have an impact. You might score a couple of goals here and there and disappear again for the next 5-6 games. It's not good enough. For the money we paid for him, we need so much more from him.
Potter did realise it though. He took him off. He did take him off. Fair play to him. But how do you manage a player? You're giving him chances. Tuchel gave him chances. He's still not performing. How can you manage that? It's almost like an impossible situation.
It's really tricky because we've tried him in so many positions. Sometimes he shows that he's okay, and he scores a couple of goals and he's all right. But too often than not, as I said, he just doesn't deliver the goods on the pitch. He doesn't impact the game. I know football's not all about goals and assists, but when you're in the top end of the pitch, that's really important. His output's not good, and then his work off the ball, it's not that great either. I know sometimes he works hard off the ball occasionally, but we can't have standards at Chelsea Football Club where 70-odd million pound players are being applauded because they've put themselves about off the ball. They've ran around a little bit. That is bare minimum expectations.
I agree with that. You shouldn't be giving people credit for that. Goals and assists are always going to be more important, but we can't say he's not trying. I think that's harsh.
No, I'm not saying he's not trying. I'll never call someone out for not trying. And I'm not saying he's not trying, but whatever he's doing right now isn't working. He needs to go back to the drawing board, whether it's with the manager or with the coaching staff. He needs to try and reinvent himself and find something, because at the moment, he's got nothing and he's offering nothing.
Fair enough, mate. A bit like Ben. Let's try and finish this off on a positive note. Do you know what I mean? there's still a lot of positives to take. We've got Brentford coming up, a number of other games as well before the World Cup. How can you see us finishing off this part of the season?
Do you know what, mate? I think we're in a really good position at the moment. I thought today was really telling in terms of the fact that we didn't play well, but we dug in and we ground out a result and we got the 3 points. We have 5 games in a row unbeaten in all comps, haven't lost under Graham Potter. We're building some momentum. Mate, I've got to be honest, I fully expect us to go up to the World Cup potentially unbeaten. I really do. Well, certainly for the rest of this month anyway. We've got Brentford Wednesday, United next weekend, and then obviously I think we've got a Champions League game away in Salzburg, and then we've got Brighton away to round the month out. I see no reason for us to lose any of those games. I know it's going to be tricky, but Potter's the man at the moment. He's got a magic touch, and we're doing really well. The players are buying into the methods, and I'm confident that we can do the rest of this month unbeaten, and I only see things going well. Yes, we are going to lose games and drop points. It's going to be difficult games, but at the moment, I can't really see where that's coming right now.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Always a pleasure.
Top man.